Hey folks, welcome back to Man Cave. First, I'd just like to apologize for not having any new videos up in the last, I think, almost 2 weeks now. After I took that trip up the coast, things just got really busy with search and rescue training, and it's just been kind of crazy and non-stop. Finally getting a little break from that, at least for the next week or so. So hopefully I'll be able to get out and actually do some stuff. I would love to put some of the search and rescue training videos up because there's some really funny, you just have an hour of blooper reels, which is fine because that's why it's training, right? That's where you make your mistakes. And plus there's just some really cool skills that we're taught and whatnot, but you know, they don't want to be on video or they don't want stuff shown. I don't know. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. So one more fire starting tool video. Wasn't going to do another one because the others didn't seem to hold too many people's attention, but I saw this thing online and I decided to buy it, and it's from this fella right here, Georgia Firesteel. There we go, GeorgiaFiresteel.com. And this guy, David Bailey, he makes all sorts of different fire starting tools. They're all based pretty much on ferrocerum rods like this, and they run from about 20 bucks, which is what this cost. I mean, this is the hot block, and the price goes up, but still, even at the most expensive, his prices are pretty reasonable, and he does them with different grades of wood and different finishes and things like that. This was like the dirt cheapest one model that he makes, and I don't know what the wood is. It's not well sanded. It's pretty coarse. Oh, by the way, I paid for this, 20 freedom bucks. You know, I mean, what are you going to do? 20 bucks, try something out, see how it works. So this isn't a gimme, this actually isn't a promotion of any sort, but I'm telling you the name of the place because it is a review of the product and the person that puts out the product, so you can decide for yourselves. And actually I'm going to be deciding right along with you because I haven't even messed with this yet. So anyway, back to the actual product itself. It's some sort of wood, probably pine, I'm guessing, and it's roughly finished. So, you know, at first that kind of put me off to it, but you look at the fit and the finish of it comes apart. You can see the seam right there. And what happened to take it apart, so you've got your ferrocerum rod, and I believe that these are epoxied into this handle right here, like so. And then on the other side, you've got a piece of steel for striking the ferrocerum rod, and there's a little magnet right here, and in this end there's a little, actually that's a piece of steel right there as well, and then in this end there's a little magnet, so that's what helps to hold it all together. The finish itself is boiled linseed oil as far as I can tell, and for anyone out there who's worked boiled linseed oil, you just take a whiff of it, you know exactly what it is right away. Okay, so we're going to try the old petroleum jelly test. Soaked cotton ball right there. Say hello, you're about to die. And then I'm going to try something different, something new today. This is mink oil, which actually isn't really made out of freshly squeezed minks. A little bit out of freshly squeezed minks, but there's a lot of other stuff in there too. I think there's like carnauba wax and stuff, generally used for shoes, for treating leather, stuff like that. But it actually works pretty well for a lot of other things as too. And you know, if you find it on sale, you find it cheap, buy some. It's just handy to have around, especially if you have any leather that you want to protect. I never tried it as a finish on wood, but it might work. Okay, so the piece of steel is got some really sharp edges to it right here. And I was kind of curious, I started looking around, and then I noticed on the back, let's see if this will focus. And I don't think that it's going to focus. Alright, so you can see that it's high-speed steel. Piece of 1/4 inch, and it was probably, you know, for a lathe tool, woodworking tool or something of that sort, and he probably just buys the stuff in bulk is my guess. Okay, so I guess we'll start with the one we haven't ever tried before, and that would be the mink oil. Stick that in the old fire containment pie dish. Get that a little bit more centered, and it's going to take a while to strike because there's a protective coating on these rods. So let's just get started here. Get some of that coating off. There we go. Alright, so we're ready to strike, so let's see what happens. Alright, so there goes the mink oil. Let's take a look at that. Not too vigorous. It's a nice slow burn, so if you need a long slow burn, that might be good. The little flashes are just some of the ferroserum fragments that came off before it lit. Let's see, how smoky is this? It's pretty sooty. I'm just putting my hand over it. Let's see. Yeah, I got a decent amount of soot on the paper towel. Not too much, but okay. So we know that that works. Let's go ahead and douse that. Actually, we'll let it burn a little bit longer just to see how it does. And that is my fire extinguishing bucket. So overall, I'd say you're getting a pretty good long burn. The startup time was a little bit longer for this compared to the Vaseline, so we know that the tool works, which is good. Alright, let's dump that out. Adios. Alright, now, and just so we can compare it side by side, sort of, if you will, or serially, with the Vaseline. So we'll get that going now. It's not as sparky as I'd hoped it would be. Okay. Guess it just wants more pressure, more downward pressure. Alright. And of course the Vaseline goes up really quick. And let's see, it's definitely much sootier, but it's also burning much quicker. So the production of soot just might be relative to the rate of burn. In other words, if the mink oil burned as fast and as vigorously, you might end up with about the same amount of soot, so let's see. Yeah, it's about the same amount coming off my hand, so. Alright, so we know that this thing works. It does require more pressure than the smaller ferroserum rods, I'm noticing. It does ignite. It does start a fire as advertised, which is good. Put that out. Ah yes, dancing on top of the water. There we go. And she's about out. Alright, so there you have it. So it does work. It'll send a good shower of sparks. So if you were to take this out into the boonies with you, you'd probably be able to start a fire with it. Good to know. Yeah, so really the only thing that I could say about this is that the finish in the wood is not, it's not splintery, but it's definitely not sanded smooth. And at first I was going to ding the guy on that, but then I started to think about it. So if you're out in the woods and your hands are wet or cold, or you're wearing gloves, or it's dark, in a situation where you can't afford to drop a piece of equipment and be scampering around looking for it, the extra friction provided by the rougher surface might help you maintain a better grip, not lose it. It might help you use it more effectively. Ergonomically, none of these ever really seem to work that well. They're not that comfortable, but I found that with this one, what I like about it is since the rod is offset in the cap, it's not right in the middle, it's on one side, is I can get a pretty good grip on it like this with my index finger right underneath, and that gives good support to it in my left hand. I'll show you my right hand, like so. And then a nice hefty purchase with the handle on this side for the striker. So try it left-handed. Oh yeah, a little bit too excited. Actually works better in my left hand. I'm left-handed anyway, so that might have been why it was taking me a while to get it going. So yeah, okay, so GeorgiaFiresteel.com, and the guy's name's David Bailey. So check him out, give it a look if you're in the market for an affordable but pretty well made fire starting package like this. It's made in America. It's not made in China. It's not made out of plastic. You know, it's wood, so you'll have to take care of it. You don't want to let it soak in water. And as the wood starts to dry out, you can just get a little boiled linseed oil, or, you know, finish of your preference, whatever libation you're into. Rub that in there real good with your hand. You just give it a good hand rub, and that'll preserve the wood. You could even take it and sand it and refinish it if you wanted to get that nice smoother finish to it. But yeah, I'd say overall for 20 freedom bucks, something that's put together by a, you know, small shop owner in Georgia. You know, why not? What's it going to hurt? Oh, wait. Okay, so it is a little hefty. There's probably about, if I had to compare, because there's a good chunk of steel in there. It's probably about 4 to 5 ounces. So, I mean, it's not like you're weighted down with it, but you definitely would notice it in a pocket. You definitely would feel it, you know, banging around in your pocket or in a cargo pocket or something. Let's see, what else could I possibly say about this? You got your rod, magnet to hold it together, you got your striker. That's probably pretty much about it, honestly. You know, it's probably best for somebody with medium to large hands. Someone with small hands might have a problem keeping good control over this. But you could also always go and, you know, cut some light, or some shallow, I should say, finger grooves into the handle if you wanted to. You could even sort of work a small groove into this end right here for that index finger grip when you're holding the ferrocerum rod. And yeah, I'd say on a scale of 1 to 10, I'd give this an 8.5 or a 9, and I would definitely recommend that if you're in the market for something like this, give them a try. Alright, thanks for watching. Hope to have more videos for you coming out soon.